Hello, and welcome to, this is probably the last video I'm going to be making for a while with the drums not set up. Just because, again, I was talking about how the water comes in, so we're getting past that. Now here is, George is a friend. There's a big fan of the channel, Bonzolium and Bonzology, that has a friend who's like Bob, bass player, Mr. Zeppelin too, as well, who has his own channel here on YouTube, which we're going to plug too. But what he did was, is this fella took George, when George was playing along, you know when George was doing the drum covers where he just heard it in his headphones and you could just hear George playing just the drums and the drums sounded so beefy and Zeppelin-y? Well, what the bass player did is played the bass guitar over what George did. Now, there's so many lessons and interesting things to be pointed out in this concept. Part of what makes a band so tight, especially in human timeville, is when the rhythm bed, meaning the drums and the bass, and the basic guitar, basic piano, or whatever, you're going to put the basic core that you might overdub the lyrics and everything on. The basic engine of rhythm is properly synced with the great emotional, human, and time feel. Well, the bass player who did this is very skilled, and of course George is very skilled. So in this video I'm putting links to this fella's channel, this bass player's channel, as well as the specific videos where the bass player is overlaying bass guitar over George playing the drums. And the interesting thing is one of the songs he does a couple, there's a couple, one or two of the songs is the a la 77 stuff George did. But he also puts the bass over a studio track. And the interesting thing about it is, of course, I can't remember now off the top of my head. I mean, you either love me or hate me, but here's the deal. The drums, it sounds just like the studio recording, like if you were to isolate Bonham and Jones, except that the fact of the matter is the drum sound is a different Bonham drum sound. What is it? Is it Over the Hills and Far Away? It's something off, God, what the hell is it? It's something either off Houses the Holy or Physical Graffiti, not Physical Graffiti, Houses the Holy or Presence, where the drum sounds a little different on Houses the Holy, or at least, well, song remains the same song on Houses the Holy, and, you know, Presence sort of has its own sound, where the, you know, Presence sort of has really its own Bonham drum sound as well as Into the Outdoor. But in other albums, you know, Bonham sounds a little more homogenized to itself in another sort of standard. But the fact of the matter is what this fella's laying, let me put it this way. What the fella's laying the bass guitar down over Bonham's, FLUDAS' drums, it's almost as if you're hearing Bonham's actual Presence or Houses the Holy drum take, but recorded on like Roy Albert Hall sounding Bonham drums. That's what I'm trying to say. Did that make any sense? But anyway, so look here in the description below. I'm going to put a link to this fella's page. He's a bass player. His name's Pete. Can't think of his last name. He's like Slippy Doolittle or something. God, I'm such a... Sleepy... Here's the thing. I got to get this in the video because George would murder me if I didn't get this right. So the channel is... See how right now I'm under my starting... You can't see me sweating. I have to find Dudesicle's page while I'm doing this. Oh, Pete. It is Pete. And his name is... The channel is... I'm now focusing in on it right now. This is reality. This is how it works. All right. The name of the channel is Sleepy Tardigrade. Sleepy is one word, capitalized, and Tardigrade is a capital T. So Sleepy, S-L-E-E-P-Y, Tardigrade, T-A-R-D-I-G-R-A-D-E. There's a few people that might be familiar with this bass player, okay? So anyway, Sleepy, a.k.a. Pete, has posted a few of these videos on his channel where he's using the sound of FLUDAS playing the drums in his master studio there in the north side of Chicago, and it rocks. Okay, again, so you get to check it out and just hear how beefy it is, and you're like, God, man. I mean, you get to hear like a recreation of the Zeppelin rhythm bed by FLUDAS and this fella Pete. All we need now is Jimmy Saccharaya. God, is that... How do you pronounce his last name? Saccharaya? I'm such a melonhead. Jorge will murder me for this. But there's the fella that from Japan who's like Mr. Jimmy Page. I mean, he's like as Jimmy Page can get. He kind of even looks like him now. He's kind of like, and he can play his arse off. Jimmy, God, what is it? Mr. Jimmy, I think they call him. And he played for a while with the Led Zeppelin tribute band that now Derek Smith is now playing with in California, although I don't think Jimmy plays with them anymore. Jimmy Sakurai is playing now with Jason Bonham's The Led Zeppelin Experience, okay? If somehow Jimmy, the Mr. Jimmy, overlaid the guitar to George's drums and then Sleepy's bass, it would be just marvelous, wouldn't it? In fact, and I know people in bands have been doing that for years, like taking, and this is what whatever did, and this is what whatever did, and this is it. And then in the four squares and the thing, you see the bass player, like, see the drummer, like, see the guitar player. Sometimes you just see the guitar itself. Well, this could be done specifically with the George Terry Zeppelin. In fact, I'd love to have a bass player do it for me too. In fact, what it's kind of getting into is me recording my new stuff now. That's what I'm doing for my own original stuff, which is a quick aside. So I'm just going to keep that out of the way. So not going to talk about me for now, about any synchronizing, any bass stuff like that. So we're just going to stick on George for now. Trust me, take my word for it. So George and this fella Pete, you can hear this. The links are here. They'll also be here in the, you know when you see those gray things? They're called cards. Like it'll come in, you might see like an exclamation point. So when you see those, click on those, and I'm going to put the ones in this video. I'm going to put the ones that Pete has posted, Sleepy Tardigrade, with George drumming. It's pretty freaking cool. And I wanted to make a specific video dedicated to that. Okay, I didn't just want to mention it. I did mention it in another video, but it needs to be specifically addressed. So more videos on the way. Next time I crank a video out from Bonzolium headquarters, the drums will be set up again. You can see my rug right there again. Hydrostatic pressure. I'm going to write a song. Hydrostatic pressure. What's Hendrix's tune? Manic Depression. Hydrostatic pressure. Maybe I'll do a Manic Depression cover, but hydrostatic pressure. Thanks for putting up with me. Anyway, so check this stuff out with George and Sleepy. George and Pete. It's pretty cool, okay? More videos on the way. And thank you for subscribing if you haven't. Please subscribe to my channel down there in the subscribe box if you can. When you click on the Bonzology stuff, remember Bonzology, B-O-N-Z-O-L-O-G-Y, please subscribe to that. And also please subscribe to Sleepy, okay? Sleepy's a talented guy. I mean, he's Mr. Zeppelin too. So there's numerous Mr. Zeppelins. So maybe we can get together Mr. Zeppelin George with Mr. Zeppelin Sleepy with Mr. Jimmy, Mr. Zeppelin, into one globule of three. I could be the executive producer and cull in the dollars. There's an angle. Anyway, thank you. More videos on the way. Stay tuned.